So let's quickly have a look at the benefits of micropartitions and clustering in Snowflake. So by now you should be able to tell the basic benefits, at least, since we have played around and seen a lot of things in action in the previous videos. The first one is the obvious one, which is query pruning. This basically means avoiding unnecessary data scans or avoiding unnecessarily scanning micropartitions as long as you use the right predicate filter. The second one is the size of micropartitions. Since micropartitions are small in size, remember 50 to 500 MB of uncompressed data, it enables efficient DML operations. So let's say you want to run an update command or an update query in one of your huge tables. Okay, as long as you use the clustering key in your where clause, Snowflake is going to know which micropartition to hit or which micropartitions to hit. It'll perform the update operations on only those micropartitions, and that's pretty much it. That's how efficient micropartitions are. As we all know, Snowflake is a columnar data warehouse. Columns are stored independently and also in a compressed format within each micropartition, thus enabling efficient scanning of individual columns. This applies to analytical queries that we'll be writing soon. By analytical queries, I mean you select a few columns and you group by other columns using an aggregate function. Okay, max, min, rank, row number, so on and so forth, as opposed to select star from table statements, which are not very analytical in nature. Micropartitions are created automatically and maintained by Snowflake. Now to this point, I want to show you guys something. So let me go back to my Snowflake account. Now, we've seen this before, the same point, the fact that micropartitions are created automatically. Okay, now let's look at one of the tables that does not have clustering. Let's say the customer table. This has 10 GB worth data. Now, if you run the same clustering information on this table, let me select the schema first. I'm going to say use schema. Now I'm going to say customer. It's going to tell me this table is not clustered. So what does this mean? Does this mean this table is not split into micropartitions, or does it mean it has micropartitions but it doesn't have a clustering key? Think about it. The answer to this is that it is split into micropartitions into smaller chunks of data automatically, just the way Snowflake does it. It's just that there's no clustering key to it. Now, how do we identify this? How do we know how many partitions exist in this table or micropartitions exist in this table? So to do that, I'm just going to say select star from customer limit, let's say 10. And I'm going to run it in an extra small warehouse. So you get 10 rows. Let's click on the query ID. So you can see inside the profile overview section on the right hand side, it will show you the number of partitions that this table has. Okay, so it has 667 partitions. Now, I believe this is important for you guys to know because this is not very clearly mentioned even in the documentation. At least I didn't come across it. So just know that all your tables have micropartitions. Finally, clustering is handled automatically unless automatic clustering is turned off. This also means reclustering. Okay, now I hope you guys have created all your tables in the previous video with the clustering keys. Now let me select this schema, e-commerce underscore live. I'm just going to double click on it and say use schema. I'm going to go back to my editor. Don't run this query yet. So I've selected the schema and I want to use the clustering information. Actually, I want to do show tables like line. Okay, so I want to have a look at the line item table. Scroll to the right so you can see automatic clustering is turned on for this table. Now, if you want to turn off your automatic clustering. Let's say it turns out to be expensive, so, and it's a humongous table. So in that case, you want to turn it off, let's say temporarily. So in that case, what you do, it's a simple command. You say alter table line item suspend recluster. Okay. Now if I execute this and I run the command show tables again, you scroll to the right, you'll see you've turned off automatic clustering. So coming back to this point, as long as you have defined a clustering key to your table, it will be handled automatically unless you turn it off explicitly. So that was about the benefits of micro partitions and clustering. Next up, we'll be looking at writing some SQL commands and also understanding the concept of clustering depth and what is a partitioning overlap. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.